Hey, good morning, traders. This is my morning video, real quick. I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes here, real quick. So, in my opinion, this is one of the best short setups we've had in quite some time here. Everything looks bullish this morning. And it is OPEX, options expiration, so be mindful of that. So, there's a few things main takeaways that I want to have here. So, we've seen some pretty heavy selling for the up till yesterday. Yeah, in the equities markets. Some pretty heavy liquidation. And then yesterday, all of a sudden, they pretty well flattened out on the liquidation. They didn't actually get any type of bullish signal on the uh, uh, UVOL, DVOL, on the S&Ps, but we pretty well held our own yesterday, despite markets going up considerably higher yesterday. So under the hood, there's quite a bit of liquidation, institutional liquidation hitting the market. So be very mindful of that. So we still have signs that there's some pretty good liquidation happening under the hood. And what we've got going on this morning is a lot of things are into resistance. We've achieved upside targets, and we're coming into OPEX. Any other time, I'd be loading the boat to this short side right out of the gate today, but it is OPEX. They might want to hold it up really high here to close out the options expirations. To me, it looks like they got everybody long this market, and they might be pulling the rug out early this morning. So be very mindful of that scenario. Um, Another one here, similar situation. If you go here on the, let's say the 1 hour, uh, similar situation. Uh, the sell side action has actually been more intense on tech up till we're getting a short squeeze higher, but under the hood, we're actually getting more intense selling pressure in NASDAQ under the hood, but you're not seeing it in the price action. So they managed to push us up into some major resistance here on the NASDAQ this morning, so be very mindful for that. We're just a hair shy of where my actual resistance target is here on the NASDAQ. Big gap this morning, so be very mindful of that as well. And then finally, I'm going to go show you the Russell real quick here. Russell's really been underperforming this week. Okay, and go here on the daily. And what we got going on here on the Russell and 1 hour here real quick. So we're getting a little mixed read here on the Russell. So we really don't have that intense selling under the hood in the Nasdaq so far, or in the Russell so far this week. So be mindful of that as well. So that's why it kind of worries me about them actually a big sell-off. But in my opinion, we're into some major resistance here on these markets. So be very mindful of that. Okay, but we're right into the expected market maker move high on the Nasdaq as well. Um, we could rocket ship higher, but I do think we're into some significant resistance. Um, Another thing I want to look at here real quick. This here is my trade grid for what I have show live every day while everybody's trading. And if you look real quick here, let me get it to pop up here. So basically, what I got going on here, this is a resistance area. We came into that uh, resistance area. Uh, we didn't even actually tag the resistance area in yesterday's session. So we've actually blown right through my resistance area to the top, a possible resistance area. So, and we have not even. So typically, whenever I see us going through a resistance area, I'm actually looking for a back test of that entire resistance area. That's what typically how I would trade if it was not for OPEX. I would be looking for the reversion back, seeing if that is a valid resistance support. Resistance becomes new support. So we're right at the top of that. So that is another theory that I want to go on here. Nasdaq, I got resistance right above us here. We're initially selling down just a little bit early from where I thought we would get. So be very mindful for that. I do want to point out also Apple's been acting as very weak uh, for so far 2024. What are we doing this morning? We came right up to the calendar year 2024 anchored VWAP. We just hit it to the tick, and now we're backing off away from that this morning. This is pre-market action hitting Apple. So Apple could very well have just completely, we're still, technically we came up trying to go bullish on the year on Apple, and we're rejecting early on this morning. That's a big warning to me that we're doing that. We're coming into resistance. Uh, we uh, we got the all-time high central pivot. We're right at currently on SMCI. Very, very possibly could be a rejection zone for a possible gap fill this morning. Nvidia, we're right into a expected move, measured move, the bottom of it, here on Nvidia. Ultimately, we're looking for $600 on Nvidia. So I don't want to overstate, how the bearishness there, but I do want to say we do have potentially a rejection zone here for that. And we also have at the top of a rejection zone. We came right to the pit tick pre-market here on AMD, the expected move high, and we're fading off of that. And I can give you another 10 well-traded stocks that I've just went through this morning into resistance this morning. So ordinarily, if it was not for OPEX, I would only be looking to the short side this morning. But with options expiration, they can manipulate things, so you just don't know. Okay, so that's pretty much my take this morning. Absolutely not suggesting anybody to go long the market this morning. If you're long, you may want to take early profits. Be very mindful for that. And if it continues to go up, so be it. If I do trade, I will be trading at half size, the cash market, and I'll probably be just doing some play trades, play money trades, and just to see see what I can get there. But this is typically on OPEX. I do not trade. It is a very wise thing to do. But like I said, the odds, in my opinion, are not in your favor if you are adding longs early on this morning. Okay, so I gotta say, thanks a lot for listening, and please like my video if you can on YouTube, if you really can. There, I will have a link to my Discord if anybody's interested to, see my posts. I try to update charts on a regular basis in there, and then I actually got some other ones I'm in the Discord and in Slack. I can share those links too if anybody's interested. But it's all free stuff that I deal with. I pay for one service currently, and it's like less than $50 a month for my trading services, and I'm doing very well. Just some things to think about there. So we're under 8 minutes, and I think that's a really good time frame to call this quits. Okay, and we do have live charts and stuff, and we do call out some live trades and stuff if anybody's interested in. We're looking for other traders to give us their ideas. So thanks a lot.